Good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us right here for Prime News at 9. I'm Brian Sanko. In sign language interpretation at the bottom of your screen is Naomi Matho. We start off by the government has extended the current 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew for another 30 days to combat the ailing health system in the country due to the surging effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe in a briefing said the government extended the curfew measures to allow the government to vaccinate as many people as possible as the positivity rate in the country stays high. Other containment measures, including operation hours for bars and restaurants as well as the ban on gatherings, remain as previously announced. So far, the country has recorded 91 new infections from a sample size of 3,435 tested in the last 24 hours, raising the total confirmed case load to 250,114. Residents of Kenju village in Samburu County have expressed fears for their lives after the debris from a littered bomb explosives were discovered in the area. The Samburu Central Deputy OCPD in the region was tipped off by members of the public about 7 bombs that were later on detonated. Locals are now calling upon the national security government to intervene and combat the situation.
Residents of Kenju in Samburu County are calling for immediate intervention from the national government in terms of detonating the live explosive bombs that are littered in the region.
Na iko na malalamiko tafadhali. Mabom wanajaa hii milima na Keju. Wametupwa na jeshi. Na bisi zina watu ya hapa nalia sana. Yuko watu wamekula. Na hata leo saa hii wamepata 6. Wamepasua moja tayari. Na sisi naona mbaya sana.
They say that the bombs had earlier claimed the lives of so many, with the inclusion of livestock in the grazing fields that are littered.
Ana wanyama mingi na kula hapo. Kwa hivyo wanalia kwa serikali.
The residents are living in a pathetic situation to which they cannot plow the land for agricultural purpose due to explosion of the bombs.
Baka yeye kushamba. Anda yeye kushamba kwa hapa. Hakuna hii tarakita kulima. Sababu wanaogopa hii bomu hapa. Hata yuko watu hapa tu mama kwa hapa kwa sababu shida tu ya bomu.
They requested the Kenya Defence Forces to immediately come and detonate the bombs in the area, asking for compensation to be done to the bomb-prone victims in the region.
Anaomba tu serikali kuja tusaidie sisi tolewa hii bomu. Hata saa hii bomu moja imepasuka, nyingine imebaki. Hata yukoona tu akina wakati mvua imenyesha, mvua kunyesha hapa, bomu atakuja tu kuonekana. Sasa yuko ngine hajaonekani. Hata watoto wameenda tu kukanyanga bomu bahati mbaya, hata hajaona. Hata watoto hajashokora bomu.
Mr. Liamo, a resident, has requested for assistance from the county and national government to meet expenses of his child that was affected by a bomb explosion and has been sick for 9 years now, to which he has 3 fingers left and the bomb pieces are still lodged in his stomach. He added that he has been trying to seek help for 9 years but all in vain.
Niko hata mimi hiko mtoto ya mwaka 16. Amekula bomu amekula iko mwaka 9 sasa. Hakuna mtu ameshughulika na mimi. Na amepelekea barua wakubwa yetu yote. Nago ukubwa. Kwa hivyo nalia kwa serikali. Tafadhali ukuja angalia sisi hapa. Msaidizi, nataka msaidizi kuja kutoa hii mabomu kwa area ya Manyata na Keju. Bado iko mwili. Mapisi si ya bomu bado iko mwili yake, tumbo yake. Na ana nguvu ya kwenda kutoa, na ajui unapita wapi. Amelia kwa wakubwa yote ya kwetu. Hakuna mtu ameona kusaidia kwa mwaka 9.
Samburu Central Deputy OCPD confirmed that they have received the information from the members of the public that bombs have been detected in the region and took immediate action and found 7 bombs, to which 1 had not exploded. He urged members of the village to report any suspecting metallic material in the region.
Out of the 7, 1 was a live bomb. 6 of it was a dummy bomb. A dummy bomb is a bomb explosives which normally used during the military exercise. And it is an old one. but mighty. Once tampered with, can cause serious injuries. Good luck, it was disposed of safely without any injuries today. This kind of bomb it is not of the first time within this area of Samburu County. It is very common. And I really appreciate the members of the public for the action they have taken and reporting to police for action.
Reporting from Mwangaza Prime News, Samburu County, Margaret Kamau.
Now, the Kilifi County government has issued an appeal to donors and non-governmental organizations to chip in and aid in serving over 148,000 families affected by drought in the region. Addressing netizens at a donation ceremony for persons living with disabilities, County Gender Executive added that the situation had moved from bad to worse as many families are starving. So far, Kilifi County leads at number 2 with counties affected by drought in Kenya.
Kilifi County government has made a passionate appeal to donors, well-wishers and non-governmental organizations to intervene and help over 148,000 families affected by drought. Speaking during handing over ceremony of wheelchairs, crutches and other mobility equipment for people with disabilities donated by Rotary Club of Malindi in partnership with other Rotary clubs, Dr. Anissa Omar, the county gender executive, said many families have been affected and there is a prediction that even the short rains will not come. She added that the situation is worrying and families are in dire need of food and thousands of animals are dying while people are surviving on wild fruits.
Out of the 21 counties in Kenya, Kilifi is one of the worst hit, number 2 in drought. As we are talking right now, it is very bad. Animals are dying. You see rain only in the town, near the beach coast, near the coastal line. But huko ndani ukiingia Magarini, Ganze, Bamba, hakuna mvua. Hawakuvuna. And the prediction is that even the short rains will not be adequate. Already it has been predicted maybe 2 weeks and there will be no time to put up any crops or harvest anything.
Rotary Club of Malindi President Cornad Masinde said the Rotary Club authorities, including presidents, governors and other senior officials, are already in talks and soon would come up with a plan to support the victims of drought. He added that currently the situation is hard due to the drought in Kilifi and it is worse for people living with disabilities. That's why they gave it a priority to support them.
Hiyo kitu especially sana kama hiyo ya Ganze tumeiangalia, tumeiona hiyo hali ambayo iko. Na ni kitu ambayo tunazungumza na coordinator wetu yuko hapa na governors wetu. Na vile nilisema the clubs now are trying to do things together to cooperate. So we will see what it is that we can do. Given that you said you want to partner up, private-public partnership, and I think that is the way to go. So, nataka kuhakikishia hao viongozi ambao wako hapa wako na ile roho ya kufanya kazi pamoja na tuangalie ile mambo ambayo kwa Kilifi kwa ile uwezo ambao tutaweza.
Reporting for Mwangaza Prime News at 9, I'm Moran, Wanjiru.
And she has done great things during her time.
Now, in bid to combat waterborne diseases and water crisis in Baringo County, stakeholders in charge have decried of lack of coordination among locals who sometimes work in isolation. Health Acting Chief Officer of the region, Salome Achilimo, said lack of access to clean water had resulted to waterborne diseases, which has been a major cause of ailments of the county. An organizer spearheaded by the call to action noted that there is need for partners to synergize in bid to address water shortage in the area.
Summit to address water access in Baringo. Lack of coordination among stakeholders in distribution of water in Baringo has been cited as a major obstacle to locals getting water. Center for Social Planning and Administrative Development organized a meeting which brought together the relevant stakeholders to address water issues in the country.
To establish a coordinated platform between the two players in the water sector. In Baringo, as in many other counties, the players in the WASH and the WRM sector work in isolation, and yet they have common interest, and the common interest here is water.
They blamed the stakeholders working in isolation, resulting to locals not accessing water. Eunice Kivuva, organizer of the seminar, said there was need for the partners to synergize in a bid to address these challenges. A bill will be legislated in the county assembly.
Department Water, Agriculture and Livestock, Department Health and Hygiene, and key development partners and community groups, they work in isolation, and this leads to duplication and even loss of money and lack of accountability, and this makes it very difficult for us to realize our objective, that is with regards to realization of the Sustainable Development Goals. With this, we had the member of County Assembly representing the County Assembly in Baringo and committee, and he has committed to work on a bill, and with support of the development partners and the interim committee that has been established.
Health Acting Officer Lomi Chilimo said lack of access of clean water will lead to waterborne diseases, which has been a major issue in the county, making the move more effective. Reporting from Mwangaza TV, my name is Esther Njoroge.
We have agreed to establish a coordinated platform bringing together government, county government, national government agencies like Water Trust Fund, Water Sector Trust Fund, Water Resources Authority, National Environmental Authority, together with the civil society, development partners here in Baringo, and the community groups who are actually the consumers.
Health Acting Officer Lomi Chilimo said lack of access of clean water will lead to waterborne diseases, which has been a major issue in the county, making the move more effective.
The WASH cannot work without having access to clean water and access to a clean environment. And for sure, even the Constitution of Kenya gives right to citizens to a clean environment. So I want to applaud and thank all our development partners.
Reporting from Mwangaza TV, my name is Esther Njoroge.
Refugees residing at the Kakuma refugee camp have been encouraged to embrace their diverse cultural traditions to enhance peaceful coexistence and relationships among each other. With over 18 families from different cultures at the camp, this has been attributed as a tool to spearhead for growth and community empowerment and development as a means to break the monotony of differences at the camp.
The Kakuma refugee camp was established in 1991 and is located near the border between Kenya and South Sudan, adjacent to the Lake Turkana. It has a population of 160,000 refugees from different countries, which are South Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia and Uganda. Culture is different there, reason being the refugees came from different countries, resulting to mixed tribes and cultures. They held the event at Kakuma refugee camp, whereby they shared their different ways of doing things, including dancing to different songs from different tribes, which will promote peace and unity. Rose from the Dinka community explains.
I feel so happy. I have met with other tribes which I have never met before, which promote unity among us. We know each other. And also I see the different instruments which I have never met, but I only heard about the instruments, but I have never touched them. And I don't know how to play them. As for now, I touch some of them and I know how to play. And I like us to continue as Kakuma Sound to grow up so that we can also teach our community to know also about this instrument.
Osiman, who is a refugee from Burundi and also a leader to the community, said that most of the people here saw the music instrument for the first time. He also said that through these events, people will live in unity, and for those who had wrangles before will get the opportunity to reconcile.
Na hata wale ndo wameona kwa mara ya kwanza hizi ngoma zinakaa aje. Sasa imekuwa ni furaha tele kwa watu ambao wametuletea hizi vitu. Na kama kiongozi wa community hii, ninaweza nikasema kwamba kupitia ngoma hizi inasababisha watu tukue pamoja, tuwe kitu kimoja. Inasababisha wale ambao hata wamekosana wanakuwa na furaha kupitia ngoma hizi zikichezwa pamoja. Inakuwa ni njia moja ya kuunganisha watu, tunakuwa kitu kimoja. So ndio maana tunasema hii zawadi ambayo tumepewa ni kubwa na ina maana sana kwetu, na tunaahidi kwamba tutaitunza na itakuja kutusaidia kwa siku za mbele.
Kakuma sounded the backbone to the event, whereby Trainer Tumwa, who is the co-founder, said that their aim is to bring more instruments from different countries to the camp, which will help them maintain their culture and interact freely.
The Kakuma sound is to bring all instruments from different countries in refugee camps so that they can conserve their culture, and through that is the only way that Kakuma refugee people will have peace. So as our aim of through that peace in the camp, people will interact together and live together in harmony. So that's the aim of Kakuma sound.
Reporting for Mwangaza Primetime News, I'm Wanjiro Kahuria.
Now, as the country edges closer towards the 2022 general elections, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission (IEBC) has rolled out a mass voter registration campaign targeting at least 6 to 7 million Kenyans ahead of the 2022 general election. In the first phase, set to cover in the next 30 days, the electoral body is set to register at least 4 million new voters, with another exercise set for January early next year. Kiani Member of Parliament Kanini Kega, current chair of the National Assembly's Budget Committee, said that IEBC has been granted adequate funds to swiftly run the process. However, IEBC has set a target to increase the number of registered voters up from 19.6 million to 26.9 million voters.
In my constituency, which has about 110,000 voters, we are anticipating that we will get an additional 27,000 voters. So in essence, it tells you that we might get over 140,000 voters, who, of course, for sure, is a significant number that can make a fundamental decision. We want to encourage our people. Kindly, let's take advantage of this period that we have been given by government, the 30 days, to register as many as possible. We have had in the past where there is a very slow start, and towards the end, then of course the residents will ask for more time. This time round, I want to say that we don't have those extra resources to give extra days. As a chairman of budget, I can tell you that it was a strain to even get this amount of money for this registration. So let's take advantage of this period of 30 days. And since we have enough BVR kits, kindly take the advantage of the 30 days. Don't wait until the 4th of November to say that you have been locked out.
Kama administration ya Kenya West, tumehakikisha kwamba security kwa ofisa wale ambao wanahusika na usajili wamepewa security ya kutosha ili kuhakikisha wanafanya kazi yao bila kusumbuliwa.
Ningependa kuwaambia wanarika wenzangu pale nyumbani, usilale tu, amka kuja chukua kura ndio tuweze kumake hiyo choice, hiyo decision yenye tunataka kuchange that future, because the future is in our hands, na ni kuchukua tu kura ndio tuweze kuchange hiyo future.
Still on elections is that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) in Machakos County has launched a mass voter registration campaign that kicked off at 8 a.m. Monday morning, covering 8 constituencies of the region. The drive aims to ensure every Kenyan gets to exercise their democratic right by voting in the oncoming elections. The Machakos County Elections Manager Joyce Wamalwa, in a media briefing, said that by By morning 8 a.m. on Monday, biometric voter registration machines were ready, and they were mostly targeting the youth in Machakos County. She urged the youth to come out in large numbers and register as voters to avoid being denied the democratic right in the coming election. So far, 622,099 persons were registered during the exercise.
I want to report that the enhanced voter registration exercise began very well today at 8 a.m. in the morning. All our wards were ready with the machines. So far, we have not received any report of failure. And I want to report that the process has begun very well and it is progressing very well. Machakos County has a target of 142,710. That is the target population that we are targeting. And I want to take this opportunity to appeal to our youth, who are our target population, to come up in very large numbers to register as voters for the next 30 days. And I also wish to say that there may be no extension after 30 days. So this is a very humble appeal to our youth, who are 90% our target population. Please turn up in large numbers and register as a voter. We have had 2 meetings now with the provincial administration. All our BVR machines are being stored at security places, either at chief's offices that have security or police posts across the county. In terms of material, we have supplied all our materials to our registration centers. And in terms of our machines, so far up to now we have not received any report of machine failure. So we can say as a county that we are very okay and we are good to go. And as usual, Kenyans always have a last hour rush. Of course, we expect some low turnout this week, but maybe beginning next week it will pick up. And we are expecting massive turnout in the last week of registration. Yes, transfer, it is their democratic right. They are entitled to transfer their votes to stations of their choice. However, for this period, we are kindly appealing and requesting that if anybody wishes to do transfer, please let it be done at our offices. But for the stations and the BVR machines on the ground, we are requesting that we allow it for registration only. And transfers, we encourage our people within Machakos to kindly visit our offices and transfer their votes in our offices. We have 1,335 stations, but registration centers, we have 120 machines across the county.
Now 23 minutes on top of the broadcast. Time for us to take our first break right here. We are back with much more.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Kwa zaidi ya miaka 15 kampuni ya Kakuma Engineering Systems imedhihirisha ustadi katika ulingo wa kuuza na kuweka vifaa vya ulinzi kama vile CCTV cameras, razor wire fence, electric and automatic gates, access control systems, computerized hotel and offices lock system, automatic and fire alarm systems pamoja na electrical accessories. Pia tunafanya consultation katika masuala yote ya ulinzi. Tunapofanya installation tunakupa warranty na guarantee. Maduka yetu yako jijini Nairobi na viungani mwake. Tutembelee au upige simu kupitia 0712828896 au 0721250846. Kakuma Engineering Systems. Security at its best.
Kwa majina ni Richman Kamwele. Ukitaka sikiza tune Nyawa Mwadhani, chukua simu yako, andika message, sikiza capital letter 5815446, ama chukua simu yako, dial 0725848523, then finya 111, utapokea sikiza tune Nyawa Mwadhani. Mungu akubariki mtazamaji wa Mwangaza TV.
Misingi thabiti maishani inategemea mikakati iliyoandaliwa kupata matokeo bora. Kila mtu ana ari ya kuishi maisha mema katika makao bora yenye ufanisi, nyumba nzuri, ujenzi mufti na ubunifu katika mali asili na teknolojia ndio nguzo. Ungana nami Francis Werura kwenye kipindi cha Darubini ya Ujenzi, tusonge mbele pamoja kuboresha hali na mali. Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Many thanks for staying with us. Welcome back. The move to ferry cargo via the Standard Gauge Railway, SGR, and the rehabilitation of major roads has seen air pollution by motorists reduced by over 20% in the country. The move has been attributed to reduction in the number of trucks using the Mombasa-Nairobi highway since the SGR was introduced. This came as it emerged that the government had constructed over 10,300 kilometers across the country, a move that had enhanced fuel consumption mainly among commercial users. This emerged during the celebrations to mark World Habitats Day, which was marked in the geothermal-rich area of Olkaria in Naivasha. According to the CS of Transport, James Macharia, climate change is real as the country continued to record unpredictable weather patterns.
Through the European Union traditionally use a lot of power. So we need to retrofit.
Those roads are not just to bring development, but also they help in terms of mitigating the emissions of carbon emissions. Because if you take, for example, the roads which have been done in tarmac, it enhances fuel consumption and it reduces pollution. If you go on a road which is bumpy and you find all those trucks getting stuck there and emitting all those carbon emissions. And so by doing these roads 10,300 kilometers, which is beyond what this government promised in 2013. This government promised 10,000 kilometers of roads. Now we've done 10,300. We still got 10 months to go. And so that is very important. Then we did also implement another flagship project, the SGR, which has removed so many trucks on the road from Mombasa, all the way to Nairobi, and now to Naivasha as well. That also has helped a lot in terms of mitigating this issue of carbon emissions. We are doing BRTs. I did mention in the meeting, BRTs are more efficient mode of transport, especially urban transport, and this is what we also take us to the next level. It's a collaborative effort between ourselves, Ministry of Environment and Forestry, UN agencies which are here, even corporates like Kengen, to make sure that we achieve this objective and mission jointly, because it is a global agenda. We have new building technologies which have been implemented, which are eco-friendly. They are also technologically advanced, and therefore they help us in terms of achieving this objective, but also mitigating the issues of climate change. What we did, as you know, is we had a very ambitious program in terms of affordable housing.
But we hit some headwinds because some people went to court, and therefore we were unable to implement in the way we wanted, in terms of making sure that the issue of the levy, which was going to be used to fund the program, could not continue. Having said that, we've been working with the private sector, encouraging the private sector to come and join forces with us. And with that, you can see almost every day, including today's papers, there are pages and pages of affordable housing projects which are coming up. That way, we believe we shall still be able to achieve the targets which we set.
Today's function is a validation of the efforts we are making in having renewable energy in this country and supporting the UN SDGs.
Through the European Union, traditionally use a lot of power. So we need to retrofit our existing buildings to make them more resource efficient.
Residents of Nanyuki in Kilifi County are in shock after 8 persons died of suicide in the past 1 week, with 3 of them committing suicide in one day. The latest victim is a male youth whose body was found dangling from a tree at the Nanyuki Muslim Cemetery on Monday morning. Nanyuki Location Chief Duncan Wachira said on the same day, a Kenya Defence Force officer committed suicide in the neighboring Thingithu estate, while a woman took away her life at the Mwireri village by poisoning on Sunday morning. A clinical officer at the Nanyuki Teaching and Referral Hospital hanged himself to death. The administrator revealed that on average, at least a person was dying of suicidal daily within the town, and also announced that his office will now start counseling in an effort to reverse the worrying trend. He also said economic hardships have been massively attributed as the leading cause of the trend, noting that unemployed persons were among the victims, many of whom left suicide notes for the cause of their death.
Siku ya leo huyu amekuwa ni mtu wa pili, kwa sababu hapo asubuhi tumeweza tena kuchukua mtu mwingine pale baada ya Thingithu ambaye alikuwa amejinyonga pia kwa ajili ya kujitia kitanzi. Na ndio maana mimi kama chief ninaomba tukuwe na counseling session kwa sana kwa vijana ambao ni 32 years ni 35 years and below, so I mean the youth, na ndio tuweze kuona kama tutawasaidia, kwa sababu ni kama shida zimekuwa nyingi na vijana wameshindwa ku open up. Katika kipindi cha wiki moja kukiwa na watu 7 wamejinyonga katika kijiji moja, ni shida inakuwa kubwa sana. Na sasa huyu ambaye tumeweza kumchukua kwa saa hii, tumeweza kupekua kwa mifuko yake na tumepata karatasi na tumeona jina lake, na ndio bado tutaliweka likiwa siri mpaka tuweze kupata familia yake. Na wale wengine ambaye sasa sisi ambaye tuko hai na tumebaki, kila mtu ajaribu kuongea na mwenzake. Ile shida ambaye ungekuwa unapitia katika maisha yako, jaribu kuongea na mwenzako, sababu committing suicide is not the solution. Na vijana tunaomba sisi katika ofisi zetu za chief immediately mimi na assistant chiefs wangu tutaanza counseling sessions ambaye tutakuwa mtu ambaye ataingia kwa ofisi kutaka huduma, kwanza tunajaribu kuongea na yeye na tuweze kutathmini yale mambo ambaye yanakumba watu katika area yetu. Ndiyo kweli maisha yamekuwa magumu, lakini njia ya kujitia kitanzi na hiyo sioni kama ndio suluhu ya kila kitu. Sasa mtu akiwa na shida aweze kuongea na mwenzake, unaweza kuongea na mzazi, unaweza tafuta chief, unaweza tafuta mzee wako wa kijiji wa area yako na uongee na yeye. Na pia kuna daktari, kuna walimu pia unaweza, because they are professionals, unaweza enda na uongee na yeye. Na pia ukipata kuna shida yoyote ambayo inakukumba, jaribu uongee na utasaidika.
Now, in marking World Animal Day, farmers have been urged to prioritize animals' health for inbreed to boost animal welfare and products. Speaking at Ndunduri Shopping Center in Nyandarua County during the celebration for this year's World Animal Day, various animal protection movements emphasized on the need to prioritize the animal's welfare and how an animal copes with the environment it lives in. Dr. Vincent Olo from the Brook, East Africa, said that the lives of animals are profoundly affected by the actions of humans and businesses, adding that it's essential to establish effective animal control programs throughout the world. World Animal Day, or World Animal Welfare Day, is observed every year on the 4th of October, the first day of Francis Assisi, who was regarded as the patron saint of animals. The day is also an international day of action for animal rights and welfare. It also aims to raise the status of animals and improve their welfare.
My name is Dr. Jenga Simon from Kendat office in Embu. The first step is usually to keep in touch with their local veterinarian in terms of animal health care. Also observe animal health records to ensure that vaccination and routine management practices and also housing is taken care of. Then we have the other specialized service available for nutrition, advanced reproduction mechanisms, and associated biosecurity measures that are that mitigates general disease spread and transmission.
I'm Dr. Vincent Olo. I work for an organization called the Brook East Africa, which is an equal welfare charity, and in Kenya we mainly look at the welfare of the donkeys. And so today we are celebrating the World Animal Day, and for this occasion this is very important because the theme that we are bringing out is the One Welfare theme. The One Welfare theme brings in the interconnectivity between human welfare, animal welfare, and the environment. And so today you are bringing that one out, and one of the activities that we are doing here is the issue of tree planting, and donkeys have been very instrumental in supporting the tree planting in this area.
Naitwa John Bogwa. Mimi ni mhudumu wa wanyama na haswa mnyama punda, kwa sababu mimi ni faria na huwa tuna deal na kwato za punda na pia kuwapa wakulima elimu kuhusu mnyama punda. Na elimu ambayo huwa tunapatia ni wakati punda anapokuwa na shida, mpaka aite daktari. Kama ni shida ya kwato, aite faria aje ahudumie yule punda. Na kama kuna shida ambayo itabidi huyo punda apumzike, tunaambia hiyo punda ipumzike mpaka ipone. Hiyo ndio huwa shauri yetu kwa wakulima. Umuhimu wa siku ya leo na ni siku kuu ya wanyama duniani kote. Wanyama duniani kote siku ya leo tunaadhimisha siku ya leo.
A community leader from Mirangine Ward, and we are so delighted to have you as our partners. You have offered us with civic education on how to take care of our environment, how to conserve our environment, and also how to take care of our donkeys and other animals. We are grateful, we are thankful to actually the veterinary officers who offered us the civic education.
All right, now Kenya and Uganda have partnered to enforce the establishment of the third point of entry and exit at their common land boundary to aid in bolstering cross-border trade between the two neighboring allies. The neighboring countries' major border crossings are Busia and Malaba borders at the northern corridor connecting the Mombasa port in Kenya coast to Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Nairobi and Kampala officials last week approved the setting up of the border post at the Mulwanda in Samia Busia County to ease movement of goods and of persons around the border.
You know, we already have Busia and Malaba, and the wisdom of the government, the Kenyan government, is that we need to add one more ambayo itaitwa Mulwanda border point. Mradi huu umechelewa
umechelewa kwa sababu si mara ya kwanza jambo hili limezungumziwa, lakini tunashukuru kwamba rais wa sasa ametoa maagizo kwamba tuweze kuwa na mlwanda. Kwa hiyo baada ya kuafikiana na mkutano wa leo na ndugu zetu kutoka Uganda, nadhani haitachukua muda mrefu sana kifanyia kazi ujenzi hasa barabara.
Hiki kivukio cha mlwanda kikinawiri kitatuwezesha kuongeza nafasi ya biashara kati yetu na wenzetu wa Uganda. Pia kitatuwezesha kuinua hali ya kiuchumi ya sehemu yetu ya Funyula, Budalangi na sehemu zote za Busia. Itatuwezesha kujenga mabarabara ambayo ile barabara inayohusika kutoka kwa ile ya kutoka Nangina kuenda mpaka kule Mlwanda itapata nafasi ya kuinuliwa kuwa barabara inayofaa. Vifaa vingine kama stima, maji na pia biashara yenyewe itanawiri.
We can do better trade. We can also decongest the one border around here, which is Busia, by creating other entry and exit points.
And as the country grapples in combating the COVID-19 pandemic, Kenyans continue to decry of harsh economic times and high cost of living attributed to the recent fuel hike and prices. Our reporter Calvin Dunda explains.
For over 6 months now, fuel prices have increased in a higher rate, affecting the living standards of Kenyans.
Maoni yangu ningesema aje, at least watupunguzie kidogo. At least hata kama ni mtu tumebebea mzigo, transport inakuwa chini. Sasa inabidi hadi transport tunapandisha kidogo. Pia customer wanapotea juu sasa mtu anabidi atafute gari iko karibu na mahali anabebewa mzigo. At least watupunguzie mafuta ndio kila kitu irudi moderate mahali ilikuwa. Juu sasa hizi vitu ziko juu, transport iko juu, bei ya chakula pia iko juu. Naona kila kitu iko juu, yani hata bei ya stima wangepunguza pia ingekuwa fiti. Sasa ikiongezeka labda za turudi ocha. Juu sasa unaona kama saa hizi kama yenyewe hata sasa transport mtu mwenye anaenda kubebea mzigo saa hii hata analia sana. Sasa inabidi na mimi najaribu kubalance ndio hata mwenye gari apate kitu na mimi nipate kitu.
According to Petroleum Principal Secretary Andrew Kamau, who appeared to the National Committee of Finance and National Planning, he said that the increase in prices due to impure fuel that was found on its way to Uganda prompted Kenyan neighborhoods to shun fuel from Kenya.
Natakana washukishi kwa juu. Hasa vitu imepanda, ukipandisha vitu watu wezi nunua. Hasa ukipandisha hakuna mwenye atanunua. Hasa inabidi serikali iangalie maneno. Hasa inabidi ishukishe maisha irudi bila ilikuwa. Hasa bila imepandisha hivyo. Hasa umejua si hata bila tunauza hivi vitu hakuna kitu tunapata. Haina hata faida hata kidogo. Ni ukisema upandishe vitu ikuwe bei kali, hakuna mwenye atanunua. Sasa itabidi hizo vitu zikiharibika hivi inabidi unatupa yote. Nukienda soko kila kitu imepanda.
Kenyans are pleading to the government and Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority to come on board and address the issue in order to lower fuel prices that has led to economic inflation from 6.57% to 6.91% due to high cost of fuel prices and supply constraints affecting commodity prices.
Mafuta tunalia mafuta imeongezewa, hata sisi tunalamika vibaya sana juu hata customers yenye tunawabeba wao wanatulipisha bei ya kawaida huku nyuma, lakini sisi tukijaribu kuambia mafuta imeongezewa hawataka kujua. So sasa mimi naomba serikali popote pale wapo, tafadhali jaribu kuchunguza. Tunaumia sisi watu wa chini. Tunaambia serikali tafadhali wajue kwamba watu wa balance hesabu watu wengine pia wenye wako chini, at least sio waone pekee wenye wako juu. Unajua kuna classes mbili, kuna wa juu kuna wa chini. Tafadhali washughulikie pia wa balance hesabu, at least sisi watu wa chini pia tuone tutapata kitu.
The hike in fuel prices comes as the country is battling with COVID-19 pandemics, as Kenyans they are yet to adapt to the painful cost of budget that has caused to inflation of the economy from 6.57% to 6.91% due to high cost of fuel prices and supply constraints. My name is Kelvin Donda reporting from Mwangaza TV Prime News at 9.
All right, that marks the end of the broadcast right here. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sakwa. In sign language interpretation tonight has been Naomi Matthew.